Okay, a very good morning to all of you. Today we have come with MCS-015, that is your English paper of your second semester. So that we will be discussing. And before starting, let me just share with you people that this is Swarup's idea that we will be covering the previous year questions for every paper, and then it would be easy for you people to go through a particular video. It might take one or two videos and the entire syllabus would be covered, right? So let us just get started with MCS 015. Right. But before starting, there are a few things that I want to share with you people. That is, हम लोग इंग्लिश को we take it very lightly. We always think that MCS 015 है या कोई भी आपका इंग्लिश का पेपर है. Now this is in your second semester. We always think that we talk in English, we can speak in English. ऐसा तो कोई problem नहीं है. Mind it that writing skills are very different. Communication skills are very different. So you must give importance to the type of questions you are being asked, and you should improve upon the quality of writing, right? So let us just get started. This is the first type. Now I would be saying this is type 1. The first type of question that is being asked in your examination is that in response to an advertisement in Hindustan Times for the position of finance controller, you are supposed to write an application for the same and also attach your curriculum vitae. So here, like Aruna Shinde, this is the address and date. Here is the sender's address, right? With date. And here to whom you are writing, that means receiver's address. To the managing director, Cosmos Limited, 72E Industrial Area, Andheri East, Mumbai, right? Then the subject, application for the position of finance controller. Reference, advertisement in the Hindustan Times. Now always make sure that you give the reference. Always give the reference. Then, dear sir, with reference to your advertisement in the Hindustan Times for the post of finance controller dated this, I wish to apply for the same. Then you should give your qualities. You should talk about your qualities. Why you should be selected. Why you? Why you? Right? So I am very energetic person with excellent communication skills. I am proficient with computers and I am ready to face any target set by your esteemed company. I am willing to work hard and would also like to add knowledge with experience. My knowledge would also be added with the experience. Then because it is mentioned that आप एक finance controller की position पे लगा रहे हैं, so it makes sense that you will be showing your degree in MCom or anything that you have done in commerce. So I hold MCom degree from Nagpur University. I have also completed my computer diploma. Computer is always important in any case. So must give that degree also. It is going to add your value. Then I have 2 years of experience as finance controller in Login Private Limited, Nagpur. My resume is sent with this letter for your reference, and I shall be much thankful to you if you grant me an interview call at your convenient time. I am looking forward to join your esteemed company as early as possible. Thanking you. Here again, yours truly, Aruna Shinde, and in enclosure, the resume and photocopies of educational certificates are being mentioned, right? Make sure whenever you are writing any letter or whenever we are dealing with any topic, हम कोई भी subject आगे करेंगे, mind it that you should be precise. Be precise and be to the point, right? Next type of question. What preparations should be made by a candidate before appearing for an interview? Interview से पहले एक candidate को what do you suggest? क्या उसको preparations करने चाहिए? So the first thing is that he should research the company and the position description by their company website, CEO resources, LinkedIn, and networking with the contacts and employees. Glassdoor and Vault are the great sources which access through CEO's websites is going to provide you the full access. आपको पूरा access इससे मिल जाता है. तो you should be knowing few sources also that is going to help you to reach about that particular company. Point number 2. Be prepared to give specific examples from your experience, from your education, or skills that are relevant to the job and organization. Use the position description as a guide. So always be very specific, give very specific examples. Example देना कोई भी पेपर हो, कोई भी इंटरव्यू, किसी भी एग्जाम में आप जाएं, is always appreciated and it is always preferred. Then third point, that you should prepare 4 to 5 relevant questions for the interviewer that focus on the company's mission and the goals, right? Then next point, you can practice, practice and practice. Visit the CEO for a mock interview. You can always go for the mock interviews and more information on preparing for an interview. Then you can create a portfolio with the samples of your work, reference letters, awards and other materials which are going to demonstrate your abilities. एक portfolio आपके पास हमेशा ready होना चाहिए. आप क्या काम कर चुके हैं, आपके कुछ references हैं, then आपको कुछ awards मिले हैं और भी कुछ facility, कुछ materials which is going to demonstrate your abilities. 6th point, get travel and parking information and an esteemed time commitment so that there are no surprises on the interview day. आप इंटरव्यू डे पर एकदम टाइमली पहुंचिए, उस कंपनी के बारे में रिसर्च करिए, अपनी इंफॉर्मेशन, अपनी नॉलेज दिखाने के लिए एक पोर्टफोलियो रेडी रखिए, मॉक इंटरव्यूज दीजिए, रेलेवेंट क्वेश्चंस आपको इंटरव्यूअर को पूछने के लिए भी आने चाहिए और अपने बारे में आप एग्जाम्पल्स के साथ बात करिए. ऑलवेज गिव एग्जाम्पल्स, राइट? देन What is the purpose of writing the minutes of a meeting? जब भी आप एक मीटिंग रखते हैं तो मीटिंग का एक मिनट्स होता है. So what is the purpose of writing the minutes of a meeting? Then discuss the abilities and skills which are required for writing the minutes. Give examples where necessary. So see, meeting minutes, what are they? They are the notes taken of conversations and choices which are made during gatherings. Meeting means you are meeting, you are gathering. Now, during that gathering, there are certain conversations. So, in that, there are certain notes that we note down. That notes are nothing, but that notes are known as minutes. Okay. So, meeting minutes are the notes which are taken of conversations and choices made during gatherings. In casual environments, meeting notes are taken to give a record of the conversation for future reference. Future reference के लिए हम हमेशा एक notes बना रखते हैं meeting के और उसको हम लोग minutes बोलते हैं. For instance, in more proper settings for executive gatherings, meetings are written and they are kept on record as an authoritative archives. Then minutes are also known as minutes of meetings. It is for MOM. इसे ऐसे भी बोला जाता है MOM, minutes of meetings. Conventions or the casual notes are the moments put down to account for a gathering or hearing. They usually portray the occasions of the gathering. Then they may incorporate a rundown of the participants. ये भी बताता है कौन कौन मीटिंग में participate किया है. Then an assertion of the issues which are considered by the members और उनके related reactions या choices. The perfect individual should accept the notes because the note taker should have the option to rapidly figure out the data is appropriate and what could be forgotten about, right? Then how to write the minutes of the meeting? Before you begin writing minutes, it is vital to understand or comprehend the kind of data you want to record at the gathering. As noted before, your association might have the required content and a particular mother design that is going to follow these things. See, you should be having the date and season of the gathering, names of the gathering members and who are not fit to join in, then acknowledgement or adjustments, any alterations of the past gatherings and choices that are being made about every planned thing, राइट. सो इस तरीके से आप मीटिंग्स लिख सकते हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल एक कुछ हम ऑर्गेनाइज कर रहे हैं उसकी मीटिंग, तो उसका डेट होना चाहिए, हु ऑल वर प्रेजेंट, हु ऑल वर not present, what all issues were acknowledged and how we are going to execute those things, right? Then next type of question जो आपका एग्जामिनेशन में पूछता है, do as directed. She told that she wanted to become a teacher. You have to rewrite it correctly. आपको ठीक से लिखना है. तो she told that नहीं होगा she said that she wanted to become a teacher. Next, you need not or you must not drive in the middle of the road. So the right answer is you must not drive in the middle of the road. Then, could you lend me your pen for a while, Ravi? Said Rajni. You have to write it in indirect speech. So Rajni requested Ravi that could he lend her his pen for a while. Then I am having 5 dogs in my house. You have to rewrite it correctly. So I have 5 dogs in my house. Then he wrote 2 novels in 1 month. You have to rewrite in passive voice. So 2 novels have been written in 1 month by him. Then one of my brothers dash a doctor. So you have to fill it with a suitable word. So one of my brothers is a doctor. He reached the airport. The flight had already left. You have to combine the two sentences. So the flight had already left when he reached the airport, right? She is married. Supply a suitable tag. Is she married? Then he is so weak that he can't run fast. Rewrite it using to. So he is too weak to run fast. Then all the clothes were washed and ironed by my mother. You have to rewrite in active voice. So my mother has washed and ironed all the clothes. ठीक है, तो एक्टिव वॉइस में क्लास हम लोग क्या कर रहे हैं, जैसे मदर पीछे दे रखा है माई मदर, सो दैट वुड बी ब्रिंग टू द फ्रंट एंड देन ये जो सब्जेक्ट है वो आपका बन जाता है ऑब्जेक्ट. लाइक इन एवरी सेंटेंस, लेट मी जस्ट टेल यू हियर, इन एवरी सेंटेंस देयर इज अ सब्जेक्ट and there is an object, right? And there are certain verbs are secondary, but when subject is being made as an object, इसको हम लोग क्या बोलते हैं, that it is being converted to the passive voice, and when object is being brought in front, then it is your active voice. तो ये आपको मालूम होना चाहिए, and this is the way we can do. तो active voice, passive voice आपके syllabus में है. Then there would be that you have to rewrite it using the modals. जैसे आपने यहाँ पर एक modal use किया, that you were asked to combine two sentence over here. So what is when? When is a modal, right? So modals would be there, active, passive voice, and then fill in the blanks with suitable verbs would be there, right? Then next question. You have taken a housing loan from a nationalized bank, and when you have been paying the interest at the rate prevailing at the time of borrowing, post demonetization, you have to write a letter to the bank manager to reduce the interest rate on your balance amount in view of the announcement made in the union budget, right? Again, Aruna Shinde, this is my address, sender's address. This is the receiver's address. What is the subject? Request for reduction of the interest rate for the home loan taken. So, respected sir, this letter is to request a reduction in the interest rate of the home loan that I have taken from your PNB Bank, Paschim Vihar, Delhi. I request you to reduce my current interest of 12% to a more reasonable rate of 8% post demonetization. It has come to my attention that my interest rate has jumped from 6% to 12% in the period of 18 months, and I have visited the websites of various competitors, and I have noticed that they are offering an interest rate at much lower than what you are currently receiving, right? So I have been a solid and long standing customer with your company for 15 years. For past 15 years I have been with you, and I would appreciate your consideration of a lower rate on my account, right? Then I feel, what do I feel? I feel the interest rate is unfair. जो interest rate है वो बहुत unfair है. That is what I feel. And considering my long standing history, you will find that I maintain not only a good credit history, but I also have an excellent history of payment with your company. So I would appreciate a lowered rate of interest at this time, and I would like to remain a loyal customer with your company. आपकी कंपनी के साथ मैं जुड़े रहना चाहता हूँ. Please reduce my interest rate so that, and also you are going to tell that that you have been very loyal, you have been doing the things very properly. तो ये सारी बातें आप बोलते भी जाएंगे, and then later on it would be good for you in expressing yourself, and it would also be good for the company also to understand that yes, you have been faithful, you have been good, right? So this is the way you can write a proper you can say what is this? This is again a letter. So how you are going to write a letter, how you are going to write an application, these are the things you have to keep in mind. ऑलवेज बी टू द पॉइंट। आपको सब्जेक्ट में दे दिया जाएगा रिडक्शन ऑफ इंटरेस्ट रेट, तो आपने तो ये तो लिख दिया कि रिड्यूस कर दिया जाए पोस्ट मोनेटाइजेशन। आपका पहले रेट कुछ और था, अभी आपने कुछ और चेंज कर दिया, लेकिन आपने यहाँ पर एक पॉइंट ऐड किया। हेयर आई हैव एडेड वन पॉइंट, दैट इज दैट यू हैव बीन लॉयल थ्रू आउट। ठीक है, so these points you can add and you can improvise your writings, right? The next question, as the secretary of a students union, now you have to write the minutes of a meeting of the office bearers held in the connection with the annual function to be organized shortly। तो annual function organize होने वाला है, उसके लिए एक हमने मिनट्स बनाए हैं, एक मीटिंग हुआ है उसके मिनट्स, उस मिनट्स में क्या डिस्कशन हुआ है वो आपसे पूछा जा रहा है। तो अभी मैंने आपको बताया था हाउ टू राइट मिनट्स। So likewise, you can give date. This is the date. This was the timing and location in the conference room. Then second point, who attended the meeting? So Mr. Sham, Mr. Jayanta, Mrs. Lakshmi were there in the meeting, but Mr. Mohan, Mr. Johnny were not there in the meeting. Then what was the meeting agenda? How to make annual function a success? Annual function को successful कैसे करना है? This was what you have discussed in the meeting. And the things that were discussed were about the geographical area where it is to be organized, that is in the playground. Varied stalls are welcome, and namely a few like games, quizzes, dance competition and an Olympiad is to be organized. ये सब बातें हमने अपने मीटिंग के दौरान में डिस्कस किया है। Then details about what was discussed during the meeting, तो ये आपने मेंशन कर दिया, and the time when the meeting was adjourned. Let's just say कि आपका टाइम जो है इतने बजे, आपने 22 आवर्स में मीटिंग स्टार्ट किया है एंड 20 आवर्स में एंड 22 आवर्स में आपने मीटिंग को ओवर कर दिया। दैट मीन्स इट इज फॉर 2 आवर्स, it went for 2 hours, right? So this is how you are going to tell about the minutes of a meeting. ये भी आपका क्वेश्चन आया हुआ है प्रीवियस ईयर में। Then as a sales executive of a publishing house, you have to now write a conversation with a client who wants to place a bulk order of textbooks for a chain of schools, right? Again, the sender's address, then here is the receiver's address. Greetings. Our school is pleased to purchase books from you and we are willing to order more this time. We will be needing science books and journals so that our students can make use of it. Books ordered, Reader's Digest, 100 numbers every week. The Science Guide, 300 numbers. Anatomy and Physiology, 300 numbers. Ancient Scientific Practices, 300 numbers. Science Today, 300 numbers every week. Then Life of Science, 200 numbers. So these are the varied books that are being required. So this is the conversation, right? We will be needing the books by the end of this week and I hope you have the books which we require. As we are your regular clients, I would request you to provide the current order status as we are in the need of the books as soon as possible. We are in the need of the books and we want the current status also. Then yours truly, Aruna Shinde, right? Then the next question. That is, you have to read the following passage and then you have to answer the questions given below. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पर आपको एक क्वेश्चन दिया गया है और उसको आपने यहाँ पर डिस्कस करना है और उस तरीके के आपके क्वेश्चंस आए हुए हैं, राइट? So let me just go through the passage. If your desk is piled high with letters, faxes, memos, printouts, you might believe all this paperwork is a sign of how busy you are. But according to Declan Tracy, cluttered desks, यानी वो डेस्क जो भरे रहते हैं, it lead to lost information, information खो जाती है, distraction and missed opportunities, high stress and not a little procrastination. He founded and runs the Clear Your Desk Day organization. His arguments for uncluttered desks are strong. We pile hundreds of pieces of paper on the desks with 45 minutes a day wasted on frustrating searches for lost paperwork on and around the desk. It is unfortunate that the cluttered desk is an accepted norm in most organizations, he says. बहुत organizations में अगर आपका desk cluttered है, भरा हुआ है, तो बोला जाता है कि आप काम करते हैं, otherwise आप काम नहीं करते हैं. But paper has become the foundation on which our organizations are built. While a large proportion of this paperwork is important, most organizations, both public and private, are suffocating under mountains of unwanted paper. ऐसा भी होता है, unwanted paper पड़ा रहता है, कचरा पड़ा रहता है, right? Each piece of paper on the desk distracts us up to 5 times a day. इससे हमें distraction होता है. We habitually handle paperwork several times before deciding what to do with it. So, what should they do if they have proper mountains on their desk? Dump it in the bin, usko फेंक दिया जाए? Well, yes, says Tracy. Or rather, he suggests following 4 simple rules, and dumping the stuff is number 4. So rule number 3 is आप file कर लीजिए, file it. Rule number 2 suggests that passing it to someone else, किसी और को दे दें. Number 1 is the rule that no one will like it, you should act on it. Right? So what you should not do is add to the pile of papers that's already there. Right? So 80% of the paperwork is eventually discarded, but it causes an awful lot of trouble before that happens. So unfortunately, most of the executives believe the myth that an empty desk is the sign of unproductive mind. So how wrong can you be? Companies cannot afford to let people work from cluttered work desks. Hours of valuable time are wasted in searching for vital pieces of paper. I also do agree कि आपका बहुत काम जो है वो papers इतने ज़्यादा clutter होने से क्या होता है कि time लगता है. Hours of valuable time are wasted, right? And it in being distracted by the constant stream of faxes, memos, reports which land in our in trays. When should we be devoting time to more important work? Now, what is the question? Suggest a suitable title for the passage. तो passage का जो title होगा मैंने जो दिया है that is change in work culture. आप भी अपना इसमें इस यहाँ पर आंसर्स में वेरी, यू माइट थिंक डिफरेंटली, आई माइट थिंक डिफरेंटली, तो उसके हिसाब से आप कमेंट सेक्शन में इसके आंसर्स वेरी कर कर भी मुझसे शेयर कर सकते हैं. Then, according to the writer, what is the ill effects of having the cluttered desk? Cluttered desk होने से क्या ill effects होते हैं? So according to Declan Tracy, cluttered desks lead to lost information, distraction, missed opportunities, high stress, and not a little procrastination. He founded and runs the Clear Your Desk Day organization. Then, find the words in the passage which mean to take away attention and to throw away. So, take away attention is distraction and throw away is dumping. Then, what are the arguments given in the favor of an uncluttered desk? Uncluttered desk के favor में क्या बोला गया है? So, see, we pile hundreds of pieces of paper on the desks with 45 minutes a day wasted on frustrating searches for lost paperwork on and around the desk. And it is unfortunate that the cluttered desk is the accepted norm in most organizations. He says, paper has become the foundation on which our organizations are built. While a large proportion of this paperwork is important, most organizations, both public and private, are suffocating under mountains of unwanted paper. Then enumerate the 4 rules of keeping one's desk clean. अपना desk साफ रखने के लिए 4 rules. So you know, dumping the stuff is rule number 4. Rule number 3 is file it. Rule number 2 is passing it to someone else. And rule number 1 is no one will like it. That is, you should act on it. So what you should not do is pile up the work, right? तो इस तरीके से आपको कॉम्प्रिहेंशन आएगा. उसमें ये 4-5 सवाल यही है, श्योर इसी तरीके के क्वेश्चंस आते हैं. सो फर्स्ट गो वेरी, टेक योर टाइम एंड गो थ्रू द कॉम्प्रिहेंशन. रिलैक्स होने के बाद बी वेरी रिलैक्स एंड गो थ्रू द कॉम्प्रिहेंशन एंड देन search for the right options. I am sure 100% you would be right. So be very relaxed while doing these types of comprehension questions, right? Then the last type of question is that you have to fill up with the most suitable phrasal verbs from those which are given below. Like here it is given look into, look up, shut up, run across, fall behind and drop in. So you have to fill up here. So they dash to him as their leader. So they look up to him. वो उसकी तरफ देखे, वो लोग देखे उसकी तरफ as their leader. Don't dash with your rent or you will be evicted. डोंट ड्रॉप इन, कभी भी अपना रेंट जो है टाइमली दे दिया करिए. इफ यू विल ड्रॉप इन, इफ यू विल ड्रॉप दैट आइडिया, देन यू विल बी evicted, you will be removed, you will be asked to leave the room. Then yesterday I fall behind my childhood friend. तो fall behind, I was playing with him and I fall behind my childhood friend. fall behind का ये मतलब नहीं है कि मैं उसके पीछे गिर गया, ऐसा नहीं है. I was there with him. Then the judge promised to look into the matter. वो matter के अंदर देखेंगे. He will go through it. He will be thorough with it. That is look into. It is rude to ask people to shut up. Right? So इस तरीके से आपको question बोला जाता है. Then imagine you are working as personal manager in Human Resource Department of IT Solutions. A system of flexible working hours has been proposed. Then here you are supposed to write a memo to the staff. ठीक है, और मेमो में आपने क्या देना है? Informing them about the proposed flexi timings, stating clearly that only Wednesdays and Thursdays would be flexi timings in the initial stage, then telling them that there would be a core timing between 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. when all the members of the staff are supposed to be in the time. So किस तरीके से आप मेमो लिखते हैं ये भी आप देख लीजिए. You have to give this topic memorandum. Then here the date. To whom you are writing? To the staff, all employees. From whom? From Aruna Shinde. Subject, flexible working hours. So we are writing to inform about the flexible timings that on Wednesday and Thursday would be flexi timings in the initial stage, that is in the morning. But between 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. all members of the staff are supposed to be in the office. Anyone with any queries may mail at arunashinde123@gmail.com by 8 p.m. today itself. So very brief, but क्या क्या डिटेल्स आपको लिखनी है वो आपको ध्यान रखना है. माइंड इट, जब आप एक मेमोरेंडम लिखते हैं जरूरी नहीं है कि जैसे ये इनिशियल आपको स्टोरीज दे रखा है वो दिया जाएगा, बट व्हाट इज योर मेमो अबाउट दैट वुड बी मेंशन्ड, and then you have to cook up the stories and you have to prepare the things, right? Then again, as a marketing or the sales executive of an automobile company, you have been asked to investigate. आपको investigate करना है the reason why there has been a drastic fall in the sale of cars. कार की सेल में fall हो गया है, तो उसके लिए आपको क्या लिखना है? रिपोर्ट लिखना है in about 250 words. तो कैसे आप लिखेंगे? Sinclair had become one of the UK's best millionaires, and he has earned a knighthood on the back of highly successful Sinclair research range of home computers in the early 1980s. He hoped to repeat his success in the electric vehicle market. उसने सोचा था, अभी तक वो बहुत अच्छा millionaire बन गया था, he will be repeating the things, but which he saw as a ripe for the new approach, the C5 emerged from an early project to produce small electric car called the C1, but after the change of the law prompted by lobbying from bicycle manufacturers, Sinclair developed the C5 as an electronically powered tricycle with a polypropylene body and chassis designed by Lotus Cars. It was intended to be the first in the series of increasingly ambitious electric vehicles, but in the event of the planned development, अभी तक आपने क्या बताना है? अपने बारे में approach बतानी है कि we were planning and we were going with a very nice things, but there is a but. But in the event of the planned development of the follow-up C10 and C15 electric cars never got further with the drawing board. Why so? अब आप उसके बारे में बात करेंगे. On 10th January 1985, C5 was unveiled at the glitchy launch event, but it received a less than enthusiastic reception from the British media. Its sales prospects were blighted by poor reviews and safety concerns expressed by consumers and motoring organizations. The vehicle's limitation, क्या limitations थी? A short range, maximum speed of 15 miles per hour, that is 12 kilometers per hour, battery that ran down quickly, battery bhi kharab, and a lack of weatherproofing made it impractical for the most people's needs. It was marketed as an alternative to cars and bicycles, but it ended up appealing to neither group of owners, and it was not available in shops until several months after its launch. Within 3 months of its launch, production has been slashed by 90%. Sales never picked up despite Sinclair's optimistic forecasts, and production ceased entirely by पूरी खत्म हो गई Productions by August 1985. Out of 14,000 C5s made, only 5,000 were sold before its manufacturer, Sinclair Vehicles, went into receivership. The C5 became as one of the great marketing bombs of the post-war British industry and a notorious example of failure. Despite its commercial failure, the C5 went on to become a cult items for collectors. Thousands of unsold C5s were purchased by investors and they were sold for a hugely inflated price, such as Euro 5,000 compared to the original retail value of 399 euros. Enthusiasts have established owners clubs and they have some modified their vehicles substantially. Then they have added monster vehicles, jet engines, and powered electric motors to propel C5 speed to 150 miles per hour, that is 240 kilometers per hour. So, how to write a report? First, you were tell about your approach. Approach was very good. Then, what were the problems? And then you have been working on it and you are improving it. So, in 3 paragraphs, you can end up your entire report. Then the last question for the day. Fill in the blanks with the following sentences by choosing the suitable phrasal verbs. Play down, run down, put out, turn down, drop in, drop out. So Sheila tried to play down her son's faults. मतलब कम करने लगी अपने बच्चे की गलतियां. So she tried to play down. इसे बोलते हैं play down. Aryan wanted to marry Sanya. Aryan wanted to marry Sanya, but she dropped out the proposal. That means she cancelled the proposal. Anil has put out of cricket 11. That means he has prepared. उसने क्या किया है? Put out मतलब उसने 11 की टीम बना ली है of the cricket. Some of my old friends drop in for a cup of tea. That means they came for a cup of tea. Then one should always turn down the lights before going out of the room. राइट तो ये कुछ आपको फ्रेजल वर्ब्स पता होने चाहिए लाइक प्ले के साथ डाउन लगा है तो उसका क्या मीनिंग है प्ले इन पुट डाउन पुट आउट टर्न डाउन ड्रॉप इन दिस इज जस्ट एन इंस्टेंस ये एग्जाम्पल है इस तरीके से आप लोग फर्दर go through भी कर सकते हैं and in case if you are having doubts you can ask me in comments also right so I think with this I have given the entire gist of MCS-015 क्या क्या आपके पेपर में आता है one there could be an application then there would be a letter then there are fill-ups then there would be a report then there is a memo and then there is a comprehension then memo comprehension all of these things I think I've covered over here I think I might not miss something memo report conversation meetings yeah how to write a meeting now that is important meetings okay so how to give the meetings so with this you can say that your entire MCS-015 would be covered in this one particular video so thank you in case if you are having any doubts do let me know do comment and if you are having any queries like if you want some more details in the subject you can ask me right so all the best keep watching keep liking and share the lectures to as many as you can let everyone understand and let everyone study well so all the best we will be coming up with a new topic very soon stay tuned thank you